Hello, everyone. Hope this is working. Thanks for coming. Just going to wait a couple of more minutes. Already having our first technical issues. Esme's Wi-Fi is not working, so please bear with. Thank you. By the way, I don't know if as an attendee, you can send a message to all attendees, but I'm seeing a lot of messages saying hi from people. So hi, but I think only me and Esme can see them, unfortunately.
Hello, sorry for the technical difficulties. I should be here now. Just gonna have to hotspot this whole thing on my phone, so that's gonna be fun, but it's totally worth it, so it's okay. Someone's called Birthday Girl. Happy birthday, if it's someone's birthday.
Happy birthday to you. What a great way to spend your birthday. Oh yeah, great point in the chat, okay.
So nice to have people chatting in the chat bar. Makes it feel like we're not just talking to ourselves. Thank you all for coming tonight. This is really exciting. I hope you're as excited about the awards reveal as we are. Yeah, there's a good comment from Cameron in the chat that it's nice to be in a very different type of Zoom meeting. I'm sure a lot of you are really happy not to have to teach or screen share, and that it's us who has to deal with all the all the technical fallouts. But yeah, you can just sit back and enjoy. And in response to Torsten, we can't hear you or see you. We thought that would possibly be slightly too chaotic. So yeah, I think, but we'll have certain people speaking throughout the event, so we'll promote them to panelists at the opportune moment, and then you'll be able to see them and hear them speak as well, but most of the time you'll be stuck with me and Xiang. We do have plenty of other speakers, so, and some great people introducing the awards, so yeah, won't just be us two. Also feel free to sort of, yeah, have snacks and drinks, you know, we don't mind. If you're in your pajamas, we also don't mind, it's all fine. Come as you like.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, having it virtually means that we can't usually have the usual, you know, great drinks, snacks. Some of the best parts of an in-person event. So feel free to have your own.
But if you're really proud of your outfit, you can tweet us showing us what you look like. If you're particularly excited to share your outfit and you dressed up specially.
Yeah.
Ooh, silk pajamas. I wish I had some silk pajamas.
Hashtag SLTAs. Gonna make it happen. Gonna make it trend worldwide.
Okay, so it's 6:36 and I think we're going to get started. So yeah, thank you all so much for coming. Welcome to the 2021 Student-Led Teaching Awards. We're really happy to have so many different people from across the university with us virtually tonight. Obviously, we would have much preferred to host this event in person, but due to restrictions and the various uncertainties caused by the pandemic, we're bringing you the SLTAs virtually again this year. Last year there was a video instead, but we've decided to go live this year for added excitement. We'll be having a couple of breaks throughout, so don't worry, it won't just be a 2.5 hour slog through, but otherwise it's a really great lineup featuring speeches from important figures in education at the university, as well as award winners and the students who nominated staff members, so that'll be really nice. Make sure to stay with us, and yeah, please do keep chatting in the chat. We really do love that. So the Student-Led Teaching Awards are an initiative that was previously run by CUSU for several years, so we're really excited that these are our first ever SLTAs as Cambridge SU. And we thought that the awards seemed more important than ever this year as an opportunity for students to thank staff for their incredible efforts to teach and support students during a global pandemic. Fundamentally, the university is its staff and its students, whether it's teachers and academic staff, those who provide pastoral support, such as tutors, chaplains and nurses, or the many other non-academic staff, such as porters and cleaners, who all contribute so much to our lives here. Staff and students have always supported each other, however small or large in scale, in the thousands of interactions that we have every day, which really do enrich and empower us as students. This mutual support has been especially important this year when all of us have been forced to operate within the drastically changed circumstances of the pandemic. The gratitude and emotion felt by students really did shine through in the nominations. We received over 600, which is our largest number to date, and this truly is a testament to all the amazing work done by our staff during this exceptionally difficult year. The nominations really do spotlight the best examples of teaching and supportive practice shown by our academic and non-academic staff. We'll touch on these when we introduce each category.
The shortlists and the winners were all decided by panels of students who generously gave up their time for the heartwarming task of reading through all the nominations and the very difficult task of selecting the standout individuals. The winners were chosen for their exceptional contributions to the lives and experiences of students at Cambridge, for their work, which is a stellar example of what the processes of teaching and supporting students should look like in an ideal university. If you're one of the winners, you'll be receiving a trophy from us in due course. We'll be getting back in touch with you very soon. Unfortunately, we can't hand them to you on the podium. Will probably arrive in the post. A bit less glamorous, but still very exciting. But before we get on with announcing the winners, we are going to have a couple of notable speakers. So first we have Professor Graham Virgo, Pro-Vice Chancellor of Education. I'm now going to promote him to a panelist. I feel very powerful. So welcome, Graham. Thank you for agreeing to speak. I hope you can all see him.
Hello, I am here and I will start my video. So hopefully you can see me and hear me as well. I'm delighted to be with you this evening, virtually indeed, as Esme and Siang have said, but I'm really grateful that at least we can meet face to face in this Zoom format that we are all so used to now. It is a shame, of course, that we can't meet in person to enjoy the snacks. When I've been to many of the previously CUSU Student-Led Teaching Awards and particularly enjoyed the snacks and the drinks that have been provided. So I hope you can virtually pretend that we are all together and enjoying this event, which certainly I always feel does feel a bit like the Oscars, with the nominations and the glamour, and then suddenly people find out whether or not they have won. It has been a very difficult academic year for everybody, and I have been constantly impressed with the way students have adapted to the demands of a very, very different education environment, with very confused government policy that has had all sorts of impacts on the way we've delivered education in Cambridge, away from Cambridge, around the world. So I first want to say thank you to all students who have been engaging really effectively in very challenging circumstances with their education. And I also want to thank all the staff for their incredible hard work in supporting students throughout this academic year. And the student-led teaching awards really are a way for students to express their support and appreciation for staff. And as Esme and Siang have identified, it is a wide variety of members of staff who have been nominated and who are receiving awards this evening, because all members of staff have an opportunity to engage with and support students, whether that's through lecturing, supervising, pastoral support, or other means of supporting students. And I'm always bowled over by the Student-Led Teaching Awards by hearing about the nominees, hearing from students about how they have appreciated what has been done for them and with them by those engaged in teaching and learning and education. So many congratulations to those who have been nominated, and particularly congratulations to those who receive awards this evening. And I do want to say one final thing. First of all, to thank Siang and Esme and the Cambridge Students' Union for organising this event. I know it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience to pull all of this together. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank the Cambridge Students' Union and particularly the officers of the CSU for everything they have done this year. I really appreciate everything you've done. Sometimes we've had some challenging moments, some very enjoyable, hilarious moments as well on the way, but I have really enjoyed engaging with you and between us making sure that the education experience is the best it can possibly be. And so because I can see Siang and Esme in my window, I'm going to particularly embarrass them by saying particular thanks to them. It has been a real pleasure working with you this year. Well done for everything you've achieved. I know there is a lot more to be done. It's not the end of the term yet, and there are other things that need to be done, but thank you and congratulations for pulling this evening together in very challenging circumstances. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Graham. And yeah, I can say on behalf of both of us that we've really enjoyed working with you too. And it's definitely been a very interesting and eventful year. Our next speaker is Ruth Lawler, who is a junior research fellow in history at Queen's College and also the UCU anti-casualisation officer. So I think Siang should be promoting you to a panelist also. And then we'd love to hear from you too.
I think that I've promoted you to panelist.
Hello, can you see me?
Hello. Yes.
Great. Well, hi everyone. Thanks so much for having me here this evening, and congratulations to all the nominees tonight. It really is a pleasure to be here to acknowledge our wonderful staff and the students who work with us and make our jobs so pleasurable and so rewarding. And I'm sure I speak for many of us here when I say that teaching and the other pastoral work that we do is vital to the heart and soul of any university, and that the relationships that we as teachers and mentors develop with our students are enriching and long-lasting. My own students have shaped my understanding of the world in profound and meaningful ways, and I am grateful to have had the opportunity to encounter so many thoughtful and passionate young people who are committed not only to the advancement of knowledge, but who also appreciate on a very deep level that knowledge is not neutral and that our methods and approaches can have significant political impact. And in recent years, students have been to the forefront of challenging us all to consider how universities are embedded in the society of which we are all a part, and reminding us that we have a duty of care both to those within our gates and to our communities outside. As producers of knowledge, staff and students alike, we stand together in our shared commitment to truth, equality and liberation for all. And that is in part what this evening is about. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, this year has indeed been an incredibly difficult one, and I'm sure many others will echo this sentiment this evening. Students have worked under the most onerous of conditions, studying from bedrooms, kitchen tables, living room sofas, dealing with isolation, anxiety and grief, and trying to get by on minimal income when part-time jobs were lost and rents soared. They have risen admirably to the challenge, supporting one another in their times of need and organizing collectively to improve the conditions under which they have labored. And in that, they are a model for us all. It has been no less challenging for teachers, many of whom have juggled childcare or elder care responsibilities, been separated from loved ones in different countries, and lost pay or work time due to reduced hours or furlough. And if you listen to the news over the past year, you might have heard that universities were closed, but that was never true. As the volume of nominations for the awards this year suggests, as we've heard from Sayang and from Esme, teachers went above and beyond to ensure that our students received the best of education and the most robust pastoral support possible. Many staff members worked long after their contracted hours to design new courses for effective online delivery, made themselves available for students in crisis, and tried to relieve the anxiety and stress that many students faced, whether in their academic or in their personal lives. And the awards tonight are a wonderful gesture from the students to their teachers, a recognition of this dedication, this going above and beyond, this commitment to learning and to growing in struggle together. So I would be remiss if I did not mention the numerous times this year that staff and students came together not only in their commitment to keeping the university up and running, because as we've heard today, the university is not merely a collection of buildings, but rather the people who comprise it, who clean the floors, staff the libraries, run the labs and write the books. But staff and students also stood shoulder to shoulder to defend the dignity of Black lives, to resist the criminalization of the poor and immigrants, and to uphold the sanctity of our natural world. It's true that this has been a stressful year, not only because of the pandemic, but also because of the various social justice and political issues that have been to the forefront of our collective consciousness over the last 18 months. And as teachers and mentors, we are proud to see that our students' engagement with ambitious and bold ideas does not stop at the classroom door. And as community members ourselves too, we are glad, I think, to have such stalwart allies in the generation that will follow us. Of course, this extensive commitment of our staff to their students is thrown into even sharper relief when we remember that much of the teaching at Cambridge is done by people who are paid by the hour, on 0 hours contracts, or on no contracts at all. And throughout this crisis, supervisors, as we heard from Graham Virgo, have been one of the most important points of contact for students who look forward to meeting a friendly face each week and who enjoyed the companionship and conversation that comes through this pedagogic relationship. And despite minimal pay and job insecurity, without offices or funding to purchase equipment needed to do their jobs from home, without sick leave if they suffered from COVID, or compassionate leave if they were bereaved, supervisors continued to work for the benefit of their students, creating new digital reading lists, spending longer in class when students were lonely or struggling, and even going for a coffee once in a while when it was safe to do so, to help new students settle in and to shepherd seasoned students through new exam formats and disruptions caused by lockdowns too numerous at this stage to count. In this, they have demonstrated how worthy they are of the accolades they have justly received tonight. Their passion for the work they do and their perseverance in the face of many challenges is commendable. And students have found so many ways to express their gratitude for this support, not only through these awards, but also by sending a kind note or even asking in classes how we are doing, which is something my students often did and which mattered a great deal during these very difficult times. It is, of course, no surprise that the nominees for these awards also include many union members, including 2 of our executive committee members, who I won't name for fear of embarrassing them, but you know who you are. And we're so proud of them and all the other teachers, mentors, staff, academic, non-academic alike, and the incredible efforts that they have made this year, both at work and beyond. We at Cambridge UCU never needed proof that to be in the labour movement means to be committed to improving the situation of staff and students alike. But if you did need a sign, then you should look no further. Unionism and dedication to students are never in conflict. In fact, they complement one another, because the principles of unionism are that we stand in collective struggle with the young, the old, the marginalised, the dispossessed, the workers and the poor to make the world a better place for all of us. I'm a historian, so I think about the labour movement as a theory of history. It embodies the idea that people standing together have the power to change their circumstances and to change history. That's a contagious idea and an enticing one, but it's also one that's resolutely wedded to optimism, to solidarity, to community, and to the promise of a better future. And that is the beauty of the gift that we can give to our students and that they can give to us in turn. So I want to just finish then by acknowledging the indispensable work that all of our teachers and staff members have done this year and continue to do, and to offer our most sincere thanks to the Students' Union, who have never taken this work or these workers for granted. The SU and its incredible sabbatical officers have always supported the rights of staff members to fair pay, decent contracts, and dignity at work, because they recognise that our working conditions are their learning conditions and that our struggle is a shared one. They have stood on the picket lines with us more times than I can count, bringing food and refreshments, warming cold hands and feet with hot coffee and biscuits, even wheeling around a mobile stovetop for Pancake Tuesday that some of us will remember, bringing a smile to our frozen faces. It has been an honour and a privilege to work with them over the past few years, and I know that the student body is deeply appreciative of the important role that the SU plays in the university, standing up for staff, students, and our wider community here in Cambridge and beyond. So on behalf of Cambridge UCU, congratulations to absolutely everyone here tonight. The university is great because you are great, and we are proud to be your colleagues and your friends. Congratulations.
Sorry, just unmuting myself, but thanks so much, Ruth. That was an incredible speech, and from us, it has been an absolute pleasure also to work with UCU in our shared struggles and shared interests. So thank you. And I'm now going to try and change it back to an attendee. But I also wanted to check that if anyone wants to turn live captioning on, I think there should be captioning. But if you do want to turn it on and you find that you can't, let me know and I'll try and fiddle with the settings just to make sure that the event is accessible. And sorry that I did not check at the beginning. But anyway, so now we move to the, I guess the moment we've been waiting for, which is we're starting on the categories and announcing the winners. So Esme will introduce the inclusive practice category.
Thank you. Yeah, excited to get started. And first, would just like to echo Siang in thanking Ruth for that incredibly powerful speech. That was, yeah, the perfect introduction to these awards. And yes, just a note on the timekeeping. Hopefully we'll try and mimic Graham Virgo in very effective timekeeping this evening. So we hopefully should keep everything to time and might even run slightly ahead. But yeah, I'm going to start with the first category, which is inclusive practice. So just as a, to start, if you think there's a problem with kind of like the PowerPoint or sort of the way that things are being presented at any point, please just do shout in the chat. We might get things wrong throughout, so just let us know if you think you're not quite seeing the right thing. But yeah, without further ado, onto the awards. So inclusive practice, this category is for teaching or support that is particularly inclusive of all students, for example, in terms of disability, race, or gender. And the nominations that we had for inclusive practice this year were heartfelt and really demonstrated the positive impact that accessibility and inclusivity by design can have on students' experiences. Some of the specific things that were championed in this category in the nominations included sort of proactive work to champion and improve diversity. So this might look like redressing inequalities perpetuated within faculties and confronting barriers to academia, for example, by supporting and forefronting important work in under-researched areas, or by sort of fostering appreciation of the strength of diversity in literature and academic production. Students also appreciated where staff created spaces that were comfortable for and inclusive of all students. So this might look like taking care to share and use the correct pronouns in online or physical spaces, rather than students individually having to raise the issue themselves. It might look like creating friendly community spaces which function both for work and socializing, or just being approachable, kind, and teaching without condescension or assumptions to ensure that all students feel comfortable regardless of race, gender, and class. Or it might look like ensuring that all resources and workloads are inclusive by design, so not retroactively, meaning that everyone is able to access and succeed in their learning regardless of their different needs. So the shortlisted nominees for this category were Dr. John Henry Gonzalez from Lucy Cavendish College, Gavin Stevenson from Mary Edwards College, Jenny Skinner from the Centre for African Studies, Dr. Midge Gillies from Girton College, and Professor Mary C. Jones from Peterhouse. So first, I'm going to announce the highly commended in this category. So highly commended in this category was Dr. Midge Gillies. Congratulations, Midge. Very well done. And then I'm now going to hand over to Charlotte Maguire, who nominated this year's winner of the Inclusive Practice Award, and she is going to announce.
Sorry. I nominated Professor Jones for the Inclusive Practice Award because she's a paragon of how much difference support from staff and good teaching can make in your experience of Cambridge. As a paper coordinator, Professor Jones has been incredible. Last summer, in preparation for the academic year that we find ourselves in now, she altered the syllabus so that everything we would need to learn could be found in a text available digitally. Her reasoning? That she didn't want any of her students to do anything they might not feel comfortable with in light of the pandemic, and that for those unable to return to Cambridge, they shouldn't be left behind. She fought hard for each and every one of our readings to be accessible for free via iDiscover, and her efforts have not gone unnoticed. As a lecturer, Professor Jones has a special way of delivering inclusive practice without condescension. Whenever she introduces us to a new or technical term, she spells it out and repeats it without fuss or a patronising tone so that we can ensure our notes are accurate and not have to rely on spell check to provide the orthography. As someone with an SPLD, it is immeasurably helpful and can make retention of focus so much easier to maintain when there isn't the distraction of trying to form an as yet unfamiliar word from a soup of letters. I would also deem Professor Jones's work class inclusive. Unlike in other academic settings, never does she assume a previous knowledge of contextual detail. As you'll already know from Latin is a sentence I'm glad never to have heard in one of her lectures, even though we do in fact study Latin at times. Professor Jones's lectures are always a welcoming space and one of the few places I haven't felt imposter syndrome rear its ugly head. As a supervisor, all of Professor Jones's work is set well before the start of term so that students can pace their reading and essay writing to a timing that suits them without surprise supervisions or midterm additions to the essential reading list. I think I speak for many when I say that having this forewarning can go a long way in the chaos of a Cambridge term. Finally, I'd like to testify to Professor Jones's ability to inspire. Although this branches into other nomination categories and isn't strictly related to inclusive practice, her willingness to answer any and every question that she can and to listen to and build upon an area of interest is remarkable and has been a keystone in my newfound love for linguistics. So, thank you, Professor Jones, and congratulations.
think I just promoted Mary Jones to a panelist. Oh, there's a lot going on in the chat. Lots of congratulations. Mari, were you intending to speak? Or maybe you're experiencing some technical difficulties. I think you're muted. Oh, not anymore.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I'm absolutely overwhelmed actually to receive this award. I really am overwhelmed because it comes from my students, and thank you, Charlotte, for saying those lovely words. I mean, I'm really very touched. And because this award comes for inclusive practice, which is something I've always had a very firm commitment to. As a lecturer, as a tutor and a supervisor, I've seen a lot of students at this university succeed despite having to tackle some really hard challenges. And I've always felt that being aware of the diversity of different needs among our students should in fact be a very important part of course design. I always appreciated it when I was an undergraduate, and lecturers, you know, did that for me. And in fact, I found that elements such as those that Charlotte very kindly mentioned, which are intended to address perhaps one particular need, they usually turn out to be helpful for all the students in the cohort. So in other words, by designing to be mindful of some, we are more often than not benefiting everybody, including the lecturer themselves, who can think through things more clearly. And I mean, this year in particular, when I think the need to take our courses online has prompted us to rethink and refine our teaching methods, but in creative ways. I think these ways will help improve our teaching, even when we go back to face-to-face teaching methods, hopefully next academic year. So I'd like to thank especially my students for nominating me. And Charlotte, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so touched. Probably heard it in my voice, actually, I didn't expect this. So I'd like to thank my students for their helpful engagement, their willingness as well to engage with me about course design over the many years that I've been teaching. And of course, also the university's excellent DRC, whose guidance in this area has been truly exceptional. So thank you very much. You really, I feel $1 million. Thank you very much to you.
Thank you so much, Mari. That was extremely heartwarming, and it's only the first category. But yes. Okay. I also, someone put in the chat, are we supposed to be seeing a shared screen? You are. I think it's frozen. I'm going to take this opportunity to stop screen sharing and start again. One moment. Okay. Well, it's still not working. I'm going to do it again. Okay. I guess we'll try and fix that in the break because it's not happening now. But let's go to the second category, which is innovative teaching. So this category celebrates teaching methods or styles that are particularly innovative, creative, or original, whether through use of technology, varied class formats, or great teaching delivered outside a classroom setting. We have so many wonderful and really actually quite entertaining examples of imaginative teaching in this category, from a fake Ottoman press conference and escape rooms to treasure hunts and missions to find dinky doors. It's really clear that so many staff members have been pulling out all the stops to make learning exciting for students during this exceptionally difficult year. In particular, students praised the use of different platforms and activities to vary their online teaching during a pandemic. Creative use of these platforms, the creation of online discussion boards, use of videos and pre-recorded interviews, encouragement of weekly blog posts, and the like. The students writing the nominations repeatedly stressed that these innovative efforts massively contributed to their enjoyment of their subject, as well as inspiring their confidence and helping them to meet other people on their course. So the shortlisted nominees for this category were Dr. Alison Gray from the Faculty of Divinity, Dr. Cameron Petrie from the Department of Archaeology, Dr. Claire Fenton-Glynn from Jesus College, Dr. Helen Pfeiffer from Christ College, and Dr. Suzanne Hackenbeck from Homerton College. So highly commended in this category was Helen Pfeiffer. So congratulations, Helen. I was there in the selection process for the winners, and universally it was also difficult to choose just one person. And unfortunately, the students who nominated the winner in this category couldn't be here today. However, Howard Che, Cambridge SU's BME officer, has agreed to step in and say a few words about them. So I'm now going to hand over to him after I have made him a panelist.
We definitely should have got some sort of lift music to kind of like play in the gaps when we're sort of promoting panelists or changing slides. Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. You'll just have to deal with us either chatting awkwardly or some nice silences just to build the tension.
Hello. Hi. So the winner for this category stood out because of their dedication to creating an interactive and engaging learning environment, despite the restrictions of the pandemic to in-person teaching. Not only did they schedule regular online discussion sessions, making full use of platforms such as Menti and Padlet to facilitate this conversation, but they also made full use of the Cambridge environment in a very literal sense. Students were sent on an educational treasure hunt around the city, inspiring new ways of thinking about the subject and giving students the opportunity to meet each other. These kinds of innovations made working remotely, as one student put it, a lot more effective and a little more fun. Another student credited the winner with the fact that they more or less know most of the other people on my course, which is not something they could say for any of their other papers. This is also important for student well-being and collaborative learning, especially in such a disrupted year. And so the winner for this category is Dr. Cameron Petrie. Congratulations.
I think Cameron was going to say a few words. So.
Oh, hi, I just got kicked out for a moment, but I'm back. Excellent. That was like a classic Zoom moment to make the year. Thank you so much. This is completely unexpected. And I'd just like to thank all of my students, especially those who turn their cameras on every single day throughout the year. It's very interesting. Trying hard not to be emotional, actually, because I would like to thank my colleagues in the department and also the Cambridge Centre for Teaching and Learning for especially giving us a lot of the ideas that I used. I think I used everything that was available. I'd like to thank my wife for drawing my attention to what was happening at Anglia Ruskin University in terms of things like the flipped classroom, giving me some ideas about the treasure hunt actually, and saying, why don't you use this? And having an opportunity to turn that around and making it something about archaeology. I'd like to thank Sue Hackenbeck, who sat in my backyard and talked through every aspect of the course before we ran it. And I think lots of aspects were really inspirational. And I was extremely grateful for my students who got to the end of the year and totally blew me away with what they'd learned. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that speech. And it also means a lot to us to see how much these mean to the staff as well. So yeah, thank you, Cameron, and thank you, Howard, for doing the announcement. And also shout out to CCTL. I love CCTL. But now we have scheduled a break. It's got a 5-minute break. We are slightly ahead of schedule. So we could have a 15-minute break and come back at 25 past, or we could have a 5-minute break and come back at 5 past. Thoughts, vibes? I don't know. Esme, what do you think?
I think let's do until 10 past, and then that gives us time to sort out the slides. So happy medium, 10-minute break until 20 past.
Yeah, cool. 10-minute break to 20 past. See you then.
Yeah, just to clarify for anyone who's joining, we're just having a break until 20 past because we had to sort out the PowerPoint, and also just to give everyone a bit of a break in between all the categories. So yeah, we'll be getting started in about another 5 minutes. Okay, so I think we're gonna get started again. So hopefully everyone can now see the slides. I'm going to change now from Cameron Petrie to, oh, the 5-minute break. I didn't want to reveal any of the winners too soon, so I didn't click beyond that slide. Okay, but if I click next, it should be the next category, which is the Lecturer Award. So I'm going to introduce this award, and then we will have a speech from the student who nominated the winner. So yeah, there were also a load of great nominations in this category. So the nominations in this category were considered for excellent lecturing or for teaching. In this category, it's clear that students have been so grateful for the passion and patience of their lecturers who've tried hard to make lectures fun and engaging despite the fact that we moved completely online this year. There were a range of different techniques cited by students as being extremely beneficial to their learning. Some even said that their lecturers' efforts made them excited to get up in the morning and start learning, which is definitely an impressive feat. Some of the popular techniques included the lecturer sticking around to answer questions after lectures, the lecturer doing test lectures to ensure that the format worked for everyone, the distribution of lecture overviews to get people intrigued and excited, getting onto the students' level by pointing out difficult bits and things they might have missed, providing brief recaps of the previous lecture at the beginning. I guess like if anyone's been watching Line of Duty, they do really worked according to students. Yeah, the use of demonstration clips for experiments, the use of short quizzes to test understanding, or the use of videos or animations to break lectures into smaller chunks, making it easier to follow and understand along the way. So yeah, a load of really great techniques. There were also some particularly impressive examples of video mastery that were mentioned. So one of the examples involved 2 parallel recordings being played at the same time as part of the lecture, one of which filled in on a worksheet. I had to read over this description several times to really get a picture of what was going on here. It was that impressive and complex. There were also commendations of lectures which ended with bloopers and happy music. So yeah, all in all, definitely some great efforts. And so the shortlisted nominees in this category were Dr. Elsa Keating from the Faculty of Math, Dr. Josie Sayer from Robinson College, Dr. Sahini Karnarayan from Clare Hall, and Dr. Torsten Messner from Pembroke College. Highly commended in this category was Torsten Messner, so congratulations, Torsten. And I'll now hand over to Izzy Sayer, who nominated the winner in this category, and they're going to say a few words about the winner.
Hi, can you hear me okay? Great. So I'm sure we can all agree that this year has been a uniquely challenging year to be a lecturer. For many, the task of bringing tried and tested in-person lectures into the digital world has undeniably been a lot of work. And I'm sure that as students, we all really appreciate all the extra work put in by all our lecturers this year. The person who's won this award has really gone out of their way to combine the best parts of in-person and online lectures. From going to the effort to film their lectures in a real department lecture theatre, to including demonstrations that we could try out at home, they've truly gone above and beyond to make their course incredibly interesting and clear in these strange times. This person has structured their course in a way that I found so engaging and easy to follow during the challenges of Lent term of this year. They intersperse their lecture content with experiments done in the department, relevant historical footage from famous figures who pioneered the field, and other points of interest. And they took the time to make a quiz and summary clip for every single lecture to help us review and check our understanding. I never expected to care as much as I do now about the plastic collapse of reinforced concrete slabs, but this person has really reignited my passion for my subject, and I'm so glad that their work is being recognised with this award. It's my pleasure to announce that the winner of this year's Student-Led Teaching Award for Outstanding Lecturer is Professor Janet Lees.
We were going to have recorded applause, but I think that was sort of technologically beyond us. Congratulations, Janet.
Cool. I think for me at least, as me has frozen a bit, but congratulations, Janet. And I will now move on to the next category, which is, oh, okay. I think Esme's internet troubles are continuing. So, apologies everyone. But I will continue to introduce the Postgraduate Research Supervisor category. So this category celebrates supervisors for all postgraduate research courses. And a common theme in these nominations was students expressing that they had managed to stay focused, excited, and motivated, even throughout the challenges of the pandemic. And this was ultimately a testament to the hard work of their supervisors. Doing a PhD can be difficult, lonely, and isolating, even at the best of times. So it's amazing to see the impact that postgraduate supervisors have had on their students and their experiences of studying at Cambridge. Some of the qualities that students identified as making a fantastic postgraduate research supervisor included reaching out to check in with PhD students about how they're doing, because as we know, it can be lonely and isolating. Setting up mentoring schemes to make sure PhD students felt more confident about supervising undergraduates and other students. Building community and connection between students, and finding ways to bring people together even when everything moved online, for example, by extending invitations to research groups. Supporting students to apply for funding extensions or make other important applications that affect their studies and career, and to be honest, their entire lives. Nurturing particular skills and interests that push students to achieve their best, providing technical expertise and training, and offering detailed and regular feedback. Students writing the nominations also particularly championed supervisors who are proactive in their commitments to diversity and inclusivity, and in their work to overcome inequalities and barriers to access in the postgraduate admission system. So, shortlisted nominees for this categories were Dr. Katia Boddy from Fitzwilliam College, Dr. Stephen Graham from the Department of Pathology, Dr. Linda Fisher from the Faculty of Education, Dr. Thomas Larson from St. John's College, and Dr. Emma Maudsley from Newnham College. So highly commended in this category was Linda Fisher. Congratulations, Linda. And I will now hand over to Joel Moore and Nina Ellis, two students who nominated the winner for this year's Postgraduate Research Supervisor category. So I will now promote them to panelists.
Hi, so I'm thrilled to announce that the winner of this year's Postgraduate Research Supervisor Award is Dr. Kasia Boddy of the Faculty of English. So first, I want to say that I'm not speaking only for myself, but on behalf of many supervisees, otherwise known as the unofficial Kasia Appreciation Society, including Josh Clayton, Wilfredo Gomez, Molly Becker, and Nina Ellis, who's also going to say a few words in a minute. We felt continually amazed and inspired by Kasia's intellectual generosity and academic rigor, the ideas she gives us, the books and articles she gives us, the opportunities she finds for us to publish or present at conferences, the in-depth comments that she provides on our work. Back when we could sometimes meet in coffee shops, I remember she once mapped out a perfect structure for a chapter I'd been struggling with, scribbled on a napkin in 5 minutes flat. Kasia pushes our work to the next level, but her support goes far beyond that. Kasia has gone out of her way to make every single postgrad feel welcome in the faculty. She encourages us to get involved with seminars and research groups, to meet visiting authors and academics, and to take leadership roles in seminars, reading groups, committees, and conferences. She has made us all feel part of the intellectual community of the faculty. And no matter how much Cambridge imposter syndrome we may have, she's let us know that we belong there. In his nomination, Josh Clayton mentioned how unusual it is to find a supervisor who is both brilliant and kind. Kasia is one of the most unfailingly kind, generous people I know, and she supported all of us in a way that has made a huge difference to our lives at Cambridge. What I personally appreciate most is Kasia's ability to meet us where we are, both intellectually and personally. She somehow finds a way to offer the exact kind of support that we need at each specific moment. I feel deeply lucky that she's my supervisor, and I'll now pass over to Nina to say a few more words.
I feel very lucky too. We're very lucky. I'd like to just add a few words of gratitude for how Kasia has supported us during the pandemic, in particular, on behalf of all her students. First of all, she's been an amazing academic support, helping us to stay excited about our PhDs when the world seemed to be dissolving around us. During the early pandemic, I felt like my thesis was the only constant in my life, and Kasia's guidance helped me to find joy and energy in it when I was struggling with everything else. Secondly, Kasia has been a fantastic logistical support, which may sound mundane, but was crucial when we couldn't access libraries. She lent us books, sent us online resources, and helped us track down scans of archival material. She also suggested strategies for remote working and empowered us to find ones that suited our needs. Most importantly, however, Kasia has supported us as people. With her characteristic empathy, she has encouraged us to find the right settings for our research, and she has checked in with us often about how we and our loved ones were coping. She has always treated us as whole people with complex lives beyond our academic work. Kasia's kindness and generosity have made a huge difference, not only to me and to her other supervisees, but to the whole Faculty of English. As Director of Graduate Studies, she has guided our department through one of the most challenging times in its history, and we are extremely grateful to her. From all of us at the unofficial Kasia Appreciation Society, thank you.
Thank you to both of you for those speeches. And I'll now try and invite Kasia to speak. So there are two Kasia bodies in this call, so who knows which one it is?
Hi. Everyone, sorry, I'm getting my myself together. There are two Kasia bodies because I'm kind of switching between my computer and an iPad, so sorry about that. If that doesn't cause problems. I'm kind of speechless, so that's I can fiddle with my technology instead of responding. When I found out I was nominated, I was thinking, is it Nina or is it Jill? Because they're both so sweet and so lovely, and both are kind of overwhelmed me now with such kind and generous words. The only thing really to say is that you know, working with people like Jill, like Nina, like Josh, like Wilfredo, like Molly, like other students, I feel that it's not a job, it's a pleasure, and you know, I get as much out of talking to them and working with them as they suggest I'm helping with them. So I'm delighted that things are going well and that things are getting kind of better for everyone. As everyone has been saying, it's a difficult year, and in some ways though, it's a kind of good year to do a PhD. What other things, you know, we can't do much else. So that has tended to be my motto, is you might as well do a PhD. But I'm being very rambling and incoherent, but I'm very touched and very moved, and thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, Nina and Jill, and congratulations again, Kasia, and thank you for your words. I think we will move on now to the next category, which is small group teaching in the arts and humanities and social sciences. So I'm going to introduce that, and then we have a student speaker as well. So this award is for supervisors or other small group teaching in the School of Arts and Humanities and Social Sciences on undergraduate or taught postgraduate courses. So some of the teaching techniques and qualities that students championed in this category included inviting students to ask interim questions related to their essays as part of the process of writing, asking students about their broader academic interests and incorporating them into supervisions, bringing attention to neglected voices in course material, taking a multimedia approach to learning, for example, bringing in art pieces or videos, creating spaces for students to talk about their own lived experiences, being flexible regarding student workloads and attentive to students' individual needs, making an effort to check in with students, providing detailed feedback, and generally just showing infectious passion and enthusiasm and a commitment to boosting students' confidence. Again, very difficult to choose a winner, but the shortlisted nominees for this category were Dr. Anna-Riikka Kauppinen from Churchill College, Dr. Julia Borcherding from Trinity College, Dr. Kelly Fagan-Robinson from the Department of Social Anthropology, Dr. Mark Darling from Selwyn College, and Dr. Teresa Bibarauer from St. John's College. Highly commended in this category was Mark Darling, so congratulations, Mark. And I'd now like to introduce Nuria Bosk-Basnip, a student who nominated the winner for this category.
Hello, can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me, but hello, I'm Nuria. I'm a second year linguistics undergraduate at St. John's, and I'm here to present the award for this category. So when I was invited to say a few words about why I nominated this person, I didn't hesitate to contribute my part. And to reiterate what everyone has been saying so far, in the past year, where many of us have faced particularly hard times or have had to take on additional responsibilities like homeschooling or taking care of loved ones, it feels more important than ever to show appreciation and take time to say thank you. So anyone who has had the good fortune of meeting this person will not hesitate to describe her as an incredible and amazingly inspiring person, supervisor, and director of studies. Her supervisions are definitely one of the highlights of our weeks. Who knew one could get so much enjoyment out of drawing a few syntax trees on a whiteboard? She's an exceptionally energetic supervisor and is always brimming with enthusiasm. As well as giving very fun and engaging supervisions, she often goes above and beyond her duties, most of the time working extra hours by allowing our supervisions to overrun to discuss everything we wanted to cover, and she's even recommended talks and articles to me for papers she's not supervising me for. Her supervision feedback is very helpful, but also really uplifting. She encourages every one of us to reach our full potential. And all of this reflects nothing but her passion towards teaching and linguistics and her remarkable belief in her students. I don't know what else we could possibly be asking before from a supervisor. Our Cambridge experience would have been quite different without this person. She might not be aware of how much of a lasting impact she has on students, but if she does, I really hope it feels so with as much joy and reward as we get from all her teaching and support. And finally, as we both know from linguistics and our supervisions, and of course, I couldn't resist including some linguistic references here, most words are really at base, arbitrary mappings between a form and a meaning. So since they are in a way approximations to the feelings and concepts in our mind, a simple speech like this one will probably fall short in conveying everything that she's done for us and the gratitude that we feel. But regardless, I hope this brief collection of words and this award still serves as a reflection of the immense thank you that lies behind them. So without further ado, I'm delighted to announce that the winner for the category Small Group Teaching in Arts and Humanities and Social Sciences is Teresa Bibarauer. So many congratulations to Teresa, and also congratulations to everyone else that has been nominated and shortlisted, and thank you to Cambridge Student Union for organizing this great awards.
Thank you. And I think Teresa is going to say a few words.
Can everybody hear me now? Yeah? Okay, in that case, I guess, being a linguist, you shouldn't really be speechless, but I am. Nuria, in a way, has given me a perfect link. I couldn't possibly begin to express what I'm feeling right now. I'm completely overwhelmed. Yeah, I am overwhelmed. What I can say is this is an absolutely fantastic setup. Thank you, Cambridge Student Union, for organizing this. I can speak from my own experiences that supervising in Cambridge is such a rewarding experience. It's not like one needs an extra recognition like this, but this is a special event. It is quite something to have such a sort of a get-together of an opportunity where people can actually express their appreciation for what they've got out of the previous year. So my own, I just have to say to my students, thank you so much. The work that you produce, the way you approach your supervisions is already more than enough of a thank you. I've never had to think twice about whether I want to continue supervising. It was a question this year because, of course, I was nervous, like everyone. We didn't know what to expect. but it was a no-brainer that obviously I wanted to carry on working with my students. And this year, what they have produced, the courage they've shown, the enthusiasm that they've kept on bringing, and yeah, just the mutual respect that has been so obvious in all our interactions. It's been something that has just been a huge big highlight, just that sort of carrying on and what we've managed to achieve. So I feel sort of unfair that there's an award for me. You all deserve an award too. So thank you so much. Thank you, Nuria. You always have a way of saying things that catch me off guard. You've done it again. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you to both of you. And again, congratulations. So moving on to the next category is small group teaching and scientific technology. So supervisors and small group teachers in the schools of clinical medicine, physical sciences, biological sciences, and technology on any taught course were eligible for this award. Some of the teaching techniques and qualities that students really championed in this category included organising extra sessions and placements for students who missed out because of the pandemic, centering active discussion and participation in supervisions, rather than just delivering monologues, as I'm currently doing. Regularly checking in with students to make sure that they're okay, dedicating time to developing detailed and invaluable resources, moderating teaching so that it's useful for students at all different stages of understanding, being available to answer questions, providing prompt and detailed feedback, and developing really innovative methods, for example, activities involving building with bread and cheese to understand a concept, educational and delicious, and recommending reading activities to develop different interests. The shortlisted nominees for this category were Francesca Cornero, Emmanuel College, Dr. Hilary Dixon, Pediatrics, Dr. Sarah Fawcett, Pembroke College, Dr. Stephanie Smith at Pembroke College, and Tim Fulton, Trinity Hall. So highly commended in this category was Sarah Fawcett. Congratulations. And I'll now hand over to Catherine Pryor to announce the winner of this category and talk about why she made her nomination.
Hello everyone. If you can hear me, that's good. So hi everyone, I'm Catherine Pryor. Like Stephen said, I'm a first year NatSci at Newnham, and I would love to tell you all about why I nominated this person for the Science and Technology Small Group Teaching Award. This person is the best supervisor I could have ever asked for and works so incredibly hard to help us understand the course and flourish as scientists. They're so organised, diligent, passionate, and willing to answer any question at any time of day. Trust me, I emailed them once at almost midnight and they were replying within the minute. They understand what it's like to be a NatSci and show true empathy and understanding if we're struggling, and they genuinely want to help. Going above and beyond is the key with this person, running countless examples classes, providing incredible revision notes, and always having chocolates on the desks. Having spoken to many of my friends who are also supervised by or go to classes run by this person, I can truly say that they are everyone's favourite supervisor, and they're appreciated so much by all of us. We don't understand how they do it all, and we're in equal parts in awe of, intimidated by, and grateful for them. Without them, I don't know if I'd be able to get this far in my degree, if I'm honest. The adaptation between online and in-person supervisions has been seamless with them, the only drawback being no chocolate when they're online. And with that, it's my honour to announce that the winner of this award is Dr. Stephanie Smith. Congratulations.
Thank you, Catherine, for your speech. Unfortunately, Stephanie, I don't think could be here today, but it's great to hear about everything that she's been doing. And again, congratulations, and congratulations to everyone, again, who was shortlisted in this category. So we will now move on to another break. Let's make it 15 and come back at 8 p.m. Cool. And I'll try and play some lift music during the break, just to provide some extra entertainment, but we'll see how that goes.
I've changed the slide, but yes, read 15:45. And then I think after that, it's just the last couple of categories. But I hope you've all had a good time so far. We definitely have. It's been really amazing to hear from everyone. Okay, I think we're going to come back. I hope you all had a nice 15-minute break. I topped up my water and realised that the reason my Wi-Fi is probably not working is because my dad is on a huge Zoom meeting in the other room, so that is probably why. I think we're going to move on to the next category, and we're going to do the final few categories, and then that will be the close of the event. So we're probably going to finish a bit earlier than we told you in the email. We weren't sure how long it would take. But yeah, okay, so we're going to move on to the next category. I'll change the slide, which is support by an academic member of staff. And this award is intended to recognise great pastoral care or support for student welfare from academic members of staff. This year has certainly confirmed that education and wellbeing really are intimately linked. Students' mental health and the conditions in which they work have been shown to be fundamental to their capacity to engage with and succeed in their learning. The nominations in this category testified to staff members' understanding that supporting students is key to ensuring the sustainability of their academic progress. Some of the particular things which were mentioned were providing reassurances and useful framings to tackle difficult stages in academic careers. For example, thinking of a PhD as a marathon and not a sprint was a sort of inspiring saying that came up. Some of the other things that were mentioned were supervisors helping to map out different objectives and stages in students' academic journeys, particularly in the case of postgraduate students, proactively checking in with students and making wellbeing suggestions that aren't necessarily related to academic study, approachability, good active listening, campaigning on students' behalf on certain issues, for example, in relation to altered exam arrangements, checking preferred pronouns. This should obviously be basic practice, but isn't currently the norm. So students seem to really appreciate where this was made the norm by the member of staff. Building community through the setup and use of online platforms was also mentioned, as was using fun extra materials to brighten people's moods, so music videos, for example, or using innovative resources such as interactive glossaries to help define key terms. So yeah, loads of really amazing testimonies that we read through. And the shortlisted nominees for this category were Dr. Bart Hallmark from King's College, Dr. David Clifford from Homerton, Dr. Isabel McNeil from Trinity Hall, Dr. Georgina Evans from St John's, and Stefania Costea from St John's. Highly commended in this category was Isabel McNeil, so congratulations, Isabel. And I'd now like to hand over to Charlotte Horner, the student who nominated the winner of this category, and they're going to present this award. So hi, Charlotte.
Hi. So this person is so deserving of the Support by Academic Staff award. Consistently going above and beyond their duty of care as a DOS, they provide constant academic and pastoral support to all their students. Although their efforts have always been hugely valued by students, this has been never more important than during the last year of the COVID pandemic. In the Easter term, this person made themselves available to students for weekly calls, either one-on-one or group calls with the college's cohort to keep morale high and to maintain contact between students. As a group, we were extremely grateful for this kindness and thoughtfulness, and the support provided was of huge benefit in helping us maintain a sense of humour and perspective in very challenging times. The regular contact continued throughout the summer holidays, with emails checking in on us and making sure we were doing okay despite it no longer being term time. In addition, since the beginning of the academic year in October 2020, we've received regular email updates informing us of every development which would affect students. During the Lent term, when many of us were remote learning, our DOS set aside a weekly time for us all to drop in and out of as we wanted, giving us the opportunity to see the other students in our year, catch up and provide emotional and academic support to each other as we attempted to deal with the unique constraints of remote learning. Practical help was also provided, which went way beyond the call of duty by offering to collect books and resources from the libraries and post them to our homes, which meant we had the option to access materials which otherwise would have proved highly problematic. Whilst those of us who made use of this felt really rather guilty in asking, the member of staff insisted it was no problem at all and that they wanted to support us in every way they could. Academic life at Cambridge can be challenging at the best of times, but none more so than during 2020 and 2021. Lacking the valuable regular social contact with peers, it would have been easy to feel isolated and lonely. However, the sensitive, good-humoured and constant support from this member of staff, where nothing was too much trouble, made us feel noticed and valued. On a personal note, and a view I know is shared by many others, no matter what problem I have, whether academic, pastoral, no matter how big or small, this member of staff will always offer support, whether via email, a Zoom call, or a socially distanced coffee on the college grounds. It is therefore with great pleasure I have the privilege of announcing that the winner of the Support by Academic Staff Award is Dr. David Clifford.
I don't know if I'm audible. I don't know if I'm on. I'm a bit stuck here. I've found this really very moving in all sorts of ways for the evening. I am assuming I'm listenable now because it all changes when you do that. Charlotte, I don't know what to how to respond. That was I'll never forget that. That's so kind. It's odd, you know, because you don't know where nominations come from at first. So you know, you try and sort of do something, and I shall track you all down, and I shall bring you hot chocolates, and I shall try and just to say thank you. But that was so kind. Thank you so much. I think the thing is, I feel particularly, you know, there's a lot we want to do for students, but I feel so much for the present generation of students and what they've gone through. This is not just a small thing that needs tweaking for the time that we're remote learning or anything else. This is affecting students right the way across, you know, the generation, the matriculation year of 2017, right the way through to God knows 22, 23, 24. Taking in GCSEs, it never happened to me. I mean, what you've all gone through has been way more than you deserve, and it seems a no-brainer just to sort of think, well, is there something that can make this awful situation a little bit easier? So anyway, thank you. I'm very grateful, and I would just say, as before I crack up, thank you again also to Esme and Siang and the CSU. And I got to say, is, you know, what I do wouldn't be possible without my colleagues at Homerton, including the support staff. Without them, we'd all be at a standstill within minutes anyway. And to my students, you know, for nominating me in first place, but they enrich my life on a daily basis. It's the best way to spend one's time. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Charlotte, and thank you. Thank you. I'm out.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. Okay, so on to the next category, which is support by a member of non-academic staff. So this category was for outstanding pastoral support from non-academic members of staff, which, you know, includes such a wide variety of people here. And as David alluded to, we would be completely lost without the non-academic staff at this university. They're really the glue that holds the community together. We received so many nominations: chaplains, course administrators, nurses, technicians, porters, gardeners, all of the people who support. It's absolutely fundamental to students' experiences here. The individuals being nominated were described by students as the single most wonderful human being on the face of the earth, an absolute goddess in human form, a true hero, a pillar of support, on and on and on. And these staff made outstanding contributions through supporting students with their disabilities, their illnesses, through bereavement, through extending compassion and understanding, and checking in with students, creating and maintaining important spaces, and so forth. There was such a variety of heartfelt testimonies that the student panel actually couldn't cut the shortlist down to 5, which is why there were 6. So the 6 shortlisted nominees in this category were Emma Manuel from St. John's College, Jane Munson, who works at the Disability Resource Centre, Matthew Bullimore, Corpus Christi College, Mariel Smith from the School of Clinical Medicine, Sally Bird from Selwyn College, and Slavic Sortis from St. Edmunds College. So highly commended in this category was Meryl Smith. Congratulations. And I'm now going to hand over to Alison Sutherland to announce the winner for this category and say a few words about why she made her nomination.
Hi there. I'm the only one presenting tonight, but I just wanted to say that this nomination came from a group of students who have always really appreciated this staff member's contribution. And we're so grateful that our nomination went through and that this great staff member and all around great guy was able to see some of the appreciation that we have for him. We really appreciate all of his help with all of our different projects in the garden, and anytime anything breaks in the bar, we always really appreciate him coming in. And then also with regards to the pandemic, like when things were first setting in, he led the team of maintenance staff workers to help make our college safe for all of the students who remained. And it was just really amazing that he went above and beyond on all fronts to make sure that we were safe. And amazingly, he did it with a smile on his face every day, and he was never hesitant to help anybody and always very approachable. And yeah, it was truly like him, along with the rest of the maintenance staff, the reception staff, and the dining hall staff, who really got everybody here at Eddie's through the pandemic. St. Edmunds is definitely a better place because of you. You're going to be truly missed when you go home, when you're gone. So yes, just want to say thank you again and present the award for student support by a member of non-academic staff to Slavic Sortis. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alison, for your speech. Unfortunately, I don't think Slavic could make it today, but congratulations to him and again to everyone who was nominated in this category. Yeah, congratulations. So now moving on to the next category, which is working in partnership with students.
Thanks. Also, just to note to Alison that we are recording this, so hopefully Slavic will be able to hear your presentation speech at some time too. So it won't be wasted even if he wasn't able to make it tonight. And yeah, thank you so much for presenting. So yeah, this is actually the final category. So it's an award for working in partnership with students. And this award aims to recognise the heartfelt and thoughtful nominations we receive for staff who work with students to support them in making change in their faculty, department or college, and those who work to spread partnership practices and student representation in their institutions. So we had a lot of amazing examples of the work done by staff in this category, and some of the examples ranged from, creating a safe and welcoming environment for students, to knitting beanies in the colours of the trans pride flag, to taking a proactive approach to ensure students and student reps were involved with the decisions about exam and assessment mitigation arrangements this year. There were also examples involving inviting students to lead discussion sessions about pandemic research methods, working with student societies, and also leading collaborative campaigns for the rights of students and staff across the university. So all really, really important work. And yeah, again, it's difficult to pick a winner and narrow down our shortlist. But the shortlisted nominees for this category were Barry Waterson from Clare College, Dr. Bernhard Fulder from Sydney Sussex, Dr. Rika Hoffman from Hughes Hall, Dr. Jajit Singh Shrey from Wolfson College, Dr. Ted Tregear from Gonville and Keys. Highly commended in this category was Barry Waterson, so congratulations, Barry. And I will now hand over to Kieran, who's going to announce the winner and say a few words about why he made his nomination.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay, I will assume you can. So I chose to nominate this person for Working in Partnerships with Students Award, as he has continually been a beacon of support to all the students he interacts with. This is especially true during the last year when COVID has affected our lives all too much. He's always been very proactive in providing pastoral support and is always willing to jump on a phone call or to meet up for a chat if we need anything. Our little network of students who have had the pleasure of getting to know this person have had an especially tough few months, and he has not failed to be there for us whenever any of us needed it. Whilst being full-time academic staff at the university, this person is also very involved in running the local Gurdwara, the Sikh Centre of Worship, where we were all first introduced to this person. It's through his ongoing support that over the last few years, the Sikh Society and the Gurdwara has been able to run events to give back to the community, such as feeding the homeless and working with schools. He's always keen for us to get involved wherever we can and continually makes efforts to educate us about our history and our culture. He'll probably tell me after this that I shouldn't have been nominated him, but that really is just a testament to his humility. He doesn't do these things for recognition, but instead he aims to inspire the next generation. And it's for all these reasons that I'm proud to announce this year's recipient of the Working in Partnership Award is Dr. Jigjeet Singh Srai.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. I'd like to thank Kieran for this nomination, which is totally out of the blue and a big surprise. And perhaps I would, the word partnership is a relevant term here. I've always felt that the Sikh students at Cambridge have been fabulous during a very difficult year with a lot of social distancing obligations on the older part of the Sikh community in Cambridge. And the students have stepped up and filled the void. Great collaborations, feeding the homeless in the city, fundraising for good causes, and actually being just a core part of the community. It's a real shame that students actually move on and go to other parts of the country. I'd love to keep them here in Cambridge, and I'll still be trying to do my best, perhaps through postgraduate opportunities. But thank you, Kieran. Delighted to have received the award. And really, maybe a thank you to all the other nominees, which I'm sure have done fabulous partnerships with their student bodies. And perhaps just a big thank you to Cambridge Students Union for organising this event. Superbly run, and great to see colleagues recognised for their great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you both. And with that, well, congratulations firstly. And with that, that is actually the end of all the categories. So a massive congratulations to everyone who won, who was shortlisted, who was nominated. And a huge thank you to all the students who made nominations, over 600, more than ever, which is a huge testament to just how much staff have made a difference to students' lives this year. The almost 30 students who volunteered their time to take part in the selection process, to our wonderful and very moving speakers from Virgo, Ruth, and also to all of the students and staff who spoke tonight, to Jodie, Kate and Phoebe, staff members at the Students' Union who have throughout the year put in loads of effort to making sure that the Student-Led Teaching Awards happen, that they happen well, and that, we are now here with no major incidents, technical or otherwise. And also, finally, a thank you to our sponsors, all the colleges who donated last year and also this year Usually it would go to a lavish and delicious in-person event. But thank you for donating. And maybe next year the SLTAs will be, the biggest party in town. 3 years of partying saved up. And finally, thank you to all of the staff who make the university and students' experiences what they are. And thank you everyone for coming to the ceremony.
Yeah, we'd just like to echo Siang and say, yeah, thank you so much to everyone. This has been a really moving and emotional and powerful evening. And I think I speak for both of us, I say we've really, really enjoyed it and hope you have too. And I think it was really nice to do a live event in the end, despite all of our technical mishaps, and apologies again for my very dodgy Wi-Fi. I think this was the best possible use of all my mobile data. And yeah, just wanted to say that we're going to be putting up an article on our website that announces the winners, so you'll be able to read that list there and share that with colleagues and whoever you'd like to. And also, if you'd like to tweet about the event, that would also be great. I think we'll probably do a tweet as well, because it's been so wonderful. So if you'd like to retweet that or tweet with the hashtag SLTAs 2021, please do so. It would be nice to have a sort of have recognition of what a wonderful event this has been. And yeah, I think I've felt very, very close to everyone, even though we've all been kind of experiencing this virtually. And yeah, thank you for participating in the chat and kind of making up for the fact that we can't all applaud each other. Yeah, it's been really amazing despite the difficult circumstances. So yeah, thank you all very, very much. And yeah, have a lovely rest of the evening. We finished early. Does that ever happen? Yeah, thank you all. We'll probably stick around for a couple of minutes while you all put comments in the chat, but yeah, feel free to enjoy the rest of your evening. Siang, shall we take a photo that we can tweet? I'll try and screenshot it, but I can't make any promises.
I'll try as well. Okay.
Amazing. Yeah, I hope you all get to eat the snacks that we wish we could have eaten during the event all together. Oh, it's so nice to read all the comments in the chat.
Cool. That's great. Did you get a pic?
Did I get a pic? Wait, where? I can stop screen sharing now, actually. I couldn't see anything. Hang on a minute.
Thank you, everyone.
I love everyone who's saying that it was superbly run despite all our technical mishaps. Amazing. Wait, where have you sent it?
I put it in Slack.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Also, feel free to leave, even though we're still here.
Oh yeah, I did get it. Perfect.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, with that, I reckon we can bring it to a close.
Thanks, everyone.
Nice one, Siang. This was really great. Had a wonderful time.
It was fun. All right. Bye, everyone.
Good night. Goodbye.